I mean, it's one of the best teams in the league. Obviously, that's a championship contender. So, just the amount of physicality, the size, the shooting that they have is obviously a challenge for anyone. So, for us, it's a good test for us.
Are you guys still like in the how do you measure up against these teams, or do you know who you are and you guys are confident in who you are?
I think we know who we are, but at the end of the day, I mean, like you said, these are still championship contending teams. So, you want to go out there and you want to be able to beat those type of teams to really see where you are for yourself.
We've seen the way you guys have gone up against length in the past years. It's really been a problem. Do you see a lot of improvement with that this year?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is an entirely different team. So, what's happened in the past and the things that we struggled with in the past, I think we've been better at this year. But obviously, we still have things to work on.
You consider them a championship contender. What do you consider yourself?
I mean, I think we've had a good season. Obviously, we want to be in that contention. I feel like we've played well and we've beaten some teams that are championship contending teams. So, I mean, I think if you ask anyone, the jury's still out. So, but for us, I mean, we feel like that. We feel like we can put ourselves in a great position to win a championship.
Does the 8-1 record after the All-Star break kind of change a little bit of your guys' thinking, especially when the build-up to it was like, uh-oh, here comes the post-All-Star game schedule?
No, not really. I mean, we felt like we were a good team going into All-Star break, and I don't think anything's changed.
40 wins now. I mean, is that a little bit hard to believe? I mean, at one point, I guess it looked like it was obviously going to be that way with so many games remaining. But what does it mean just to kind of check that off a box as something you guys hadn't experienced?
I mean, that wasn't a goal of mine. So,
What's your goal?
I mean, my goal is to win a championship. At the end of the day, that's what any competitor wants to do. But I wouldn't say coming into the season I was looking forward to 40 wins. No.
Drew's kind of talked about as an underrated defender. What stands out to you with him, and is that one of those matchups you kind of look forward to?
At this point, I don't know why Drew's an underrated defender. I mean, he's one of the best defenders that we've had in the league for a long time. So, I mean, just his physicality, the way he can get on the ball. I mean, he does everything you want in being a good defender, fighting over screens, being able to guard post-ups, isolations, getting deflections. He does everything as a defender.
You saw the way Kessler stepped in admirably, so he did it last week as well. Just, is it still kind of fun to see guys be able to come in and impress this far into the season, even though he's kind of a newer piece?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely great for us, adding depth, adding length. He shot the ball well. I mean, that's what you want in someone who's a wing in this league. At the end of the day, I think wing defenders are pretty much hard to come by, and especially one that can shoot the ball as well. So obviously he's still young. He still has a lot to improve, but what he did for us last game was definitely great, and we look forward to seeing what he's able to do for us in the future.
Do you guys feel like you did a good job responding to the physicality and sort of challenge that Mike presented after that New York game in Phoenix? And then how important is that for tonight as well?
Yeah, I mean, this is probably the most physical team in the league, especially with their length, the guys that they have that are able to get downhill. The best defensive team in the league. I mean, they've been there, done that. So this is definitely a team that you can, test your physicality against and test the way that your defense is going to respond and test the way that your offense is going to respond to their physicality.
Have you been more vocal since Mike let that be known last week?
Yeah, I mean, we have to hold each other accountable, not just, wait for Mike to do it. So I think the entire team has been able to voice opinions, and guys have been able to take criticism well.
That wasn't the first time you'd heard that from him, was it?
No.
Yeah. How surprising maybe to hear it after a win?
Not surprising at all. I mean, we've had wins that, he wasn't happy with, and obviously you say be happy with the win, but, continue to know that we have to be able to learn. But it's always great to rather be able to learn from a win than have to learn from a loss. So.
De'Aaron, you'd like to get in the paint, and it seems like Lopez just keeps getting better despite his age, especially on the defensive end. Just how difficult is his team with all that length, and then adding him as that sort of defensive centerpiece?
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason like I said, this is the number one defensive team in the league. I mean, they have good on-ball defenders, and they have guys that they can funnel you into. So, I mean, at this point, I don't even know how old Brook is now. So, but I mean, just what he's able to do as a guy who can shoot the ball, who's over 7 foot, who doesn't necessarily jump high, but blocks a ton of shots. He's big. I mean, he does everything that you want in a center that's basically a 3 and D center, and I mean, that's going to be a challenge for anybody.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.